Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Khomotso Morotolo. I'm the president of Nexus University. We are located in South Africa. Good to be here. And I would just like to say to everybody, today is day 11 of this wonderful program. So we're almost done. And I hope that everyone is sending the feedbacks, we're filling in the assignments and so forth. We're almost there, and I'm proud of everyone. Very, very proud of everyone. All right, I'm not going to waste much time. I'm going to introduce our doctor for today's session. I'm quickly going to do a short intro just so that everyone understands, which field and platform she actually comes from. Thank you so much. Okay, quick intro. So we've got Dr. Pooja today. She is an accomplished individual with almost 2 decades of experience in imparting education and making significant contributions in the field of computer science and engineering. With a strong background in education, she has dedicated her career to sharing knowledge and inspiring others through her expertise. She has delivered numerous hands-on training sessions to students, learners, industry personnel on artificial intelligence, which we mostly would call the AI, and machine learning using Python. Furthermore, she has worked with NITTTR, Chandigarh, towards co-creation and delivery of courses for National Online Education Portal, which is called the SWAYAM Portal, NPTL, on smart grid analytics, implementing machine learning module. Throughout her professional journey, she has published, my goodness, over 90 publications, which include national and international journals, conference papers, book chapters, including the IEEE, Springer Conferences, and Scopus indexed journals. The extensive body of work reflects their commitment to advancing knowledge and making valuable contributions to the field of artificial intelligence or your machine learning and deep learning. Her expertise and insights have likely been sought after by peer students and fellow researchers alike. We would like to welcome Dr. Pooja. Dr. Pooja, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. It is an honor being here right now and talking to you especially.
Okay. All right. So the floor is all yours. It's all yours.
Thank you so
much.
So,
all right.
We have good number of participants. We'll start with today's topic, which is data visualization and storytelling. So let me share my screen. All right. So I thought this would be more like a hands-on session. So I have prepared one worksheet where we will work on creating different visualizations. We'll start with this all. Let me start with this. And we'll share this all content later on. And it would be very great if side by side you people can work on it. It is very easy. I hope all of you are well versed with Python and Jupyter notebooks. So,
excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you increase the font size a little more?
I'm opening it. It is just open for me right now.
Okay.
Yes. So I am not able to present it. All right. I will open this, don't worry. So what we are going to do, this is view and view slideshow only. I don't know why it is not working. We'll see. So what exactly is data visualization and what is storytelling? Before we go further into this, I would like all of us to give some instances to me so that I can understand where we all stand. Will that be fine?
All right.
Will that be fine? Yeah.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
So anyone, I mean, you people can open, unmute yourself, and we can then talk about this, right? Do you understand what is data visualization? Shall I just unshare it for a while? Stop sharing. Yeah.
Yes,
To,
yes.
to all the participants, what do you understand by data visualization, and why do we need data visualization? I know you know more than me. I know that because it is a very common topic these days. It is just that there are a lot of platforms. Maybe I will be able to give you some knowledge in terms of using one platform. Anyone?
Okay. Our participants, it looks like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna ask you to do, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, you can have a look at the chat box.
Okay,
You
okay,
know,
okay.
some
They
of
are
the
writing.
participants, yes, yes, that's how
It
they
is,
answer,
yeah.
most.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Visualization of data for making reports and to analyze data for the some purpose, है ना?
Yes, Sandeep, this is very right. We do some visualizations, we create some graphic representations, as Tando has written, that it is a graphical representation of data, and not just graphs. It can be anything. It can be a map. It can be a lot of things, right? And why do we need that? Let me share my screen. And why do we need that? So I will show you one thing. Dashboard. Oh, New York Times. So New York Times is a very famous, a very much used newspaper. And if you will find that these are all the news, they do have something which is known as the dashboards. They create dashboards. They present data in a form which is very much useful and understandable for laymen like us, right? Mm, Dashboard on COVID data. That's New York Times. Yep. So see here, if this is the right. Yep. So having all the data, I can open up a data and I can show you how data looks like, right? So data does not look, if this is a data, this is one data. It is a CSV file. We cannot get any insight out of this data. We cannot just find out. So there are, we understand that there are a lot of fields in this. And if I will be able to open this in Excel sheet also to have better view. But even if I will open this in Excel sheet, I hope my screen is changing as I am changing it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Everything is fine.
All right. So they are here we are in the downloads. This is day 9. No, we are in day 11. Yeah. So if I'm opening this right now in Excel sheet, Excel is one tool to represent data, to work on data, right? So even if I have opened this data like this, will I be able to get some knowledge, like for this host ID, how many listings are there? So this data set is basically from Airbnb. So I hope you all understand what is Airbnb. Airbnb is a chain where, I mean, it is an organization, I would say, where people can hire and can rent some of their own houses, or maybe some property, right? So instead of if you are going somewhere and instead of staying in a hotel, you can meet with some you can connect over Airbnb, and then I mean, you can stay in a house instead of going and staying in a hotel. So Airbnb is a very useful data set. So I thought we will use this in creating a dashboard and understanding all this data, what exactly it is. So if you will see here, there are a lot of room types which are available, and if I'll check on this, there are total 48,000 entries altogether, right? So understanding data is very difficult. Even if we have statistics, we have other ways, or we have mathematical ways, we have statistical ways to understand data, but visualization makes data very handy. You can instantly get insights from the data, right? So this is not useful. I cannot know whether any host, like 7549 host, here it shows that it has a room type of entire home or apartment. Does it has any other apartment kind of room type or not? So what other type of properties are available for a particular host ID, and where exactly are they? So there are some neighborhoods, some locations where these host IDs are available, right? What are the rents? What is the review of that particular property? So understanding it this way is very difficult, right? So that is where data visualization comes into picture, right? So I'm closing this. This is what it is. Somehow, why I'm not able to present it?
It's okay.
Yeah, I prepared it in the form of slides so that I can present it very well, and it should show something like this is not working. Okay, nevertheless, we'll use it like this here only, right?
All right.
It should download it as a slide, yes. Yes. Meanwhile, we'll just see here. So whatever I have discussed right now, it is all is written here in the Jupyter notebook. So what is a data visualization? We present data in the form of some visuals. Now that visual can be of any different type. It can be a simple bar. It can be a simple line. It can be a multi-line. It can be a map. It can be a pie chart. It can be a donut chart. There are plenty of charts available. And why do we need that? We need that to understand the pattern inside the data, right? There are applications of data visualization in, you name a field, you will find some application of data visualization. In fact, when humanity started, I mean, when humans, I mean, when this earth started and humans started to evolve, they started doing, they started putting some, some visualizations on the rocks um, just to show, okay, what exactly it is. So they started making pictures, they started making some symbols just to communicate, just to keep it a record, right? This is yeah, applications, data visualization has applications in almost everything nowadays. In fact, the fields of data science have narrowed down to, let's suppose, HR analytics, or hospital analytics, or typical marketing analytics. So every analytics you are doing, uh, you use visualizations, right? And more typically, we present data in the form of dashboards. So dashboard is something which can show everything on one chart. For example, here, if you will see here it is showing name of the city, what were the admissions, what is the changes, how much was the death. So we can say this is a dashboard with two different types of data uh, on that. Same way, we can say this is also again a dashboard, right? Now see, this dashboard is very elaborative. In this dashboard, we have, what do we have? We have all the line charts, if you can see, right? And lines have, if you are hovering over it, it is showing you what exactly that data point is. Then we have bar charts. a simple bar which is telling what is the percentage of primary series of vaccination rate. This data dashboard is related to hospital admissions during the time of emergency, typically for COVID it was, right? So all this is a simple dashboard, but very useful. Instead of looking inside the data, how it is working and what it is doing, I mean, what exactly it is, this dashboard will present the data in a more better form. There are, as I said, there are a lot of tools available for presenting data. There are BI tools typically, which are known as business intelligence tools, and Tableau, which is now taken over by Salesforce, is one of the very commonly used and very powerful tool for presenting data, right? This is one tool. And if you will see here, okay, I will not log into that. I wanted to show you some of the dashboards in Tableau itself, how they are doing, how easily they can create dashboards. So Tableau is one, then Microsoft's Power BI is there. You can create dashboards in using simple Python also, right? So we will use Plotly because it was told to me that this particular session is for Plotly. I will do what? I will stop the video, right? All right. So first thing what we will do, I would request all of you to start doing that. We will open plotly.com. And this is a framework which is based on JavaScript and you can say Python. And it gives you very easily you can create dashboards in this, and the dashboard or simple visualization, simple chart you can create in this, which will be very interactive, right? So what we will do, we will go to this Plotly, we'll go to docs and then graphics libraries. From here you will download Plotly as per your platform. If you use MATLAB, you can download Plotly for MATLAB, for R, for Python, for Julia. So currently we are working on Python, so we will download this Plotly from here. If you already have that, well and good. I'm sharing this direct link in the chat with you all so that you can work on it as we go, right? So from here you will download the Plotly. Once it is done, I already have Plotly, so I will not do that, but I will show you how it will work. So you will open Plotly for Python. This will work. There are a lot of demos and examples here. You will go down. So from here you can download Python as well. For Python, it will open this only. So here when you will go down, it will tell you how to download this particular Plotly for this. So what you have to do is you just have to run pip install Plotly. It was there earlier when I opened it. Now it is not there. So pip install Plotly will help you install Plotly, right? So if I will do it right now here, it will show me that okay, Plotly is already there. So the requirement is already satisfied, right? Once it is done, see it is showing me this. But for you, it might run into all the downloads and it will take a while to download this, right? So I already have Plotly installed. First thing is we need to import Plotly into our workbook. So I have imported Plotly. What I'm doing for those who have not worked on Jupyter notebooks, this is a cell. In this cell, you can run a code, a markdown, a simple raw data, or a heading. So this particular cell is a coding cell, and the kernel used is Python. So that means in this Jupyter notebook, I'm working on Python 3, and this cell is being used as a code. earlier cells, this cell, if you will see, it is a markdown cell. So markdown cell, even if you run it, I mean, you were here, you ran this, it won't execute. It will consider it as a text only. So there are ways of displaying data in markdown also, right? So this is also markdown. This is what how I have made it bold and everything. But this cell is a code cell, right? So when I will run this, it will execute it by using kernel, which is Python 3 based kernel, right? So what we will do, we will first create a random data. We will generate some data. I have written a code for generating a data. For generating this data, I'm using NumPy, I'm using pandas, and the data will have, using a dictionary, I'm creating the data. See, so data will have 4 attributes. First is date, another is product category A, product category B, product category C. So this is a sample data set. In this data set, we have used random.rand int function module or function from NumPy. So it will generate random numbers from this, right? So after generating this dictionary, we are using this dictionary and we are converting it into a data frame with the help of pd.dataframe function. I hope this is all visible to you. Okay. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm running this. I can run this by clicking on the cell and then pressing Shift plus Enter also, right? So using head, we are trying to look inside the data, how the data looks like. So this data shows us how much products were sold in each category on a particular day, right? So this is what we have generated. Now using this, so this is a very small data set. I will show you the whole data set. It has only 10 data points because we mentioned it has to be size 10, right? We could have generated much bigger data set, but just for the practice, here we can still see what was the trend, right? We can see one row, okay, the product was sold very well in category A, but then there was a downfall, then there was a hike, and so on. But if consider this data is a huge data for a year, we want to know what was the trend of sales over time. So what we will do, we will use Plotly's Express, right? In Plotly, there are 2 ways of creating graphics. One is there is a GO, which is a graphic object. It is known as graphic object, and we usually refer to it as GO. Another is Plotly's Express. Okay, both have their own advantages, disadvantages. There is a small difference in the syntax, how you will be using it. So Plotly Express is usually imported as PX. You can have another name as well, right? So we are importing Plotly Express as PX. So Plotly.express as PS. Then in Plotly, there are some, we call them as objects. For example, here there is an artist called line. So this line artist will generate a line graph. So in Plotly, there are artists. You can call different artists like scatter, like box, like line. We will go through them one by one. So what we are doing, even if we are not calling this like this, so we are saying px.line, call the line, and in then Plotly, you have to mention which data set you are using. So in pandas, we refer we say, okay, df.correlation, for example. So we mention for example here, so this will give me a correlation matrix. So we mention the data frame, then we call something. But in Plotly, we mention the data inside the artist itself, right? So we are saying we are using DF data, and it will automatically understand that this date is one column in the DF, and for y-axis we are using all three categories of all the three columns here. And then we have included a title inside the line itself, line artist itself, that the title will be sales over time. So usually when you plot in different modules like Matplotlib or Seaborn or maybe Bouquet, you give titles and everything after you have created the graph, but here you can give it inside also, right? So we are passing all this to figure, and then we are saying figure dot show. So dot show is a method to show the figure. So I have executed this. Let's see. This is what the graph is. And it is very interactive. In Matplotlib, you won't get, or with simple pandas, you won't get a plot which will have all these things, right? You can zoom it, you can use pan, you can zoom in, zoom out, you can auto scale it, you can download it as a PNG file as well, right? So we did not say, okay, include legend or anything, just one line of code, and it has generated a very beautiful interactive plot. See, wherever I'm putting this, hovering over it, with the mouse, it is showing me what exactly it is. So for example, right now it is telling me the variable is product A, the date is January 3, and the value is 81, right? So this is what is. So this is very interactive plot. Plotly is used for such kind of functionalities, right? So we have not included any label that X label be this, Y label be this. It has automatically taken, this is date, this is the value, right? So it is very much user friendly, I would say, because you don't have to do much of the things. You just need to understand how to call a particular artist, what all parameters can be there, and then these are the basic parameters we have passed, right? Just what will be the x-axis, what will be the y-axis, and the title, right? So this is how we can generate it. I hope this much is fine as of now, and I am hoping that you all are doing it while we are in this session. Has anyone tried working on this side by side? I have opened chat. Anyone? Yes, no? Okay. Yes, no, nothing? All right. So I will consider this as a yes, and then we'll move ahead. Okay.
Okay,
So
we've
when,
got, sorry. We've
Ma'am,
got a no
actually the
yeah,
more.
thing
yeah,
is,
yeah.
ma'am, actually the thing is the participant are following all the content, listen you very carefully. But the thing is the content and the database which you have don't have the participant. So
No,
I
no,
think
I have generated the data here itself. I can share this code, they can start working. Here
okay,
is, so they can, if they can open it, it will be useful to them. If we wanted the session to be like this, I am telling something, it is fine with me. So this is how I have generated the data. I can share this data, this whole code with you all. Just use this data set, right? Yes, no?
Yes, we follow. Yes.
All
yes,
right,
dear participant, if anyone who want to use this hands-on with your system side by side, you
you can
can
try.
copy these statements which are available here, and uh, you can find in the chat box. Okay, you can do experiment side by side during the lecture, and if you want to do this experiment after the session, these content also will be
Yeah,
available for you.
that is not a big deal. All
Yeah.
right. So as a data, I understand this FDP is targeting data science field, right? So as a data analyst or as a data scientist, what inference you will find out of this graph? See, it is not just about creating a graph or a plot. It is about understanding the plot also. So you can highlight after that in that this dashboard that on the 2nd January there was a downfall in the sales of product A, but on January 3rd it shooted up to this point. So this is how at the end, because the topic is data visualization and storytelling, this is how you will be creating a narrative for your story whenever you will be using some kind of visualization. So for creating such kind of stories, because this is very interactive, you don't have to annotate it anywhere, but we will see how to annotate some data points if you want to show it while you will be presenting your story, right, to the stakeholders. Okay. All right. So usually Plotly and other plotting modules come with their own data sets which are already there, right? So here in Plotly, we already have some data sets, like tips data set is there, for this Gapminder is there. There are other data sets also, right? So now we will try to fetch one data set, which is a Gap Minder. It talks about various countries. I will just show you this data set first, not this. So it talks about, see, this is what the data is. So this data set is coming from Plotly Express .data.gapminder. So you can fetch all this in your wherever you have downloaded Plotly. I don't know if it is here. So you can find it here itself, where exactly are the data sets, right? So you can check all different data sets available. It is not here. I think I have downloaded it somewhere else. Okay, no, never. So this is what, from data, you can fetch all different type of data sets. I am fetching Gapminder from here. And then this data set is about this. There is, it is about countries, country status. So there are country names, then what all continent they belong to, what was the year in that particular year, what was the life expectancy, what was the population, what was the GDP, and so on. This is what exactly the data is, right? So we can check for what is the size of this data. Dot, I will say shape. So shape is this. So it has 8 columns. We know it has 8 attributes, and the number of observations in this data is 1704, right? It is a bigger data than our previously self-generated data, which was which had only 10 observations. So what we will do, let's check for the unique values in country dot unique. So there are, okay, it is showing all these are unique values. No, these are the unique values. Okay. So we have Afghanistan, Albanian, and all these different countries are mentioned here. Now, let's suppose we are creating a story as a data analyst, wherein we have to tell the stakeholder what was the life expectancy or population, or how GDP has changed over time for a particular country. So what we will do for that particular case, I will include another cell. I already have this data, right? So if you remember earlier, we passed a query where we said, fetch this data where country is only Canada, right? So when I will fetch this, see, now the country is only Canada. Now all other things are gone, right? So this is one way of fetching the data using dot query method in Plotly Express, right? We can fetch it like this, or later on also what we can do, we can say data is equal to this is simple Python, right? Canada, where country is Canada. Let me see. It will throw an error because it was supposed to be this. Where okay, so now if I will check for this data, this is another way of doing the same thing. So we have all the data for the country where the country was had. We already executed this. Let's do it again. As of now, we have all the ways names of the countries when we ran this, and then this. Now I have only data for country, where the country is Canada. Done. Now what we will do, we will prepare a bar chart on this. From this data, again the data is mentioned. X will be the year, Y will be the population column, and the artist is bar now, right? And then we are saying dot show. Same. So population has increased over the year, right? Let's check what will be the GDP. There is no GDP. There is GDP. This. Okay. See, what was the error? Error was the value of Y is not in the column. That means it was not able to find GDP as an attribute. Then we checked, okay, the name of the column is this, right? And here it is. Again, the GDP has also increased. There was a slight dip here in the year 1992, but again, it was growing, right? All right, this was one thing. We know now how to create a line chart, how to create a bar chart. We'll move ahead and we'll take a particular case of tips data. Tips is a data set. It is available online also. It is about some restaurant where we are trying to understand how much tip somebody gives on a total bill based upon the gender, whether the person is a smoker or not, based upon some day, based upon the time, it was dinner time or breakfast time, right? And what was the size, how many people came, right? So this is what the data is. We are trying to generate bar chart. Data is df underscore tips. We are saying we will check for the total bill amount per year, right? So what we have done, we have in the X, we have sent day. Now see, day is a categorical data, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But Plotly, like Seaborn module, can automatically understand categorical data and present it. Usually in mathematics, if you will see, we cannot create charts based upon categories usually, right? So here we will be able to do that. So total bill, and the title is total bill amount per day. Here is our chart, right? So it is Sunday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days. This was the total bill amount. For every Sunday, it is stacked up, right? Though this is not a very good chart, but still, right? All right, you can explore all this on your own. You can download it. Now, what is the insight out of this? So the insight is the total bill is observed on Saturday, followed by Sunday. This have relatively lower bill amount. See, so the bill amount is decreasing towards Friday, but on Sunday the total bill amount increases. Right, on Saturday it is the highest. So what type of inference you can get out of this, that mostly people try to go out and eat or dine on Saturdays because maybe it is the start of weekend, and Fridays they don't prefer going out, right? We can create similar kind of a chart using a line, but now we will say what is the average tip per day, right? So we have X as day and tip as a Y. Here, see, oh, it is not so good. So tip is maximum tip given is 10, maybe in dollars if we will say, if we'll present it like that, and it is on again Saturday. And minimum tip is given is 2 on Friday. No, it is less than 2 also on Sunday, which was 1.5. So how we have developed this chart? Px dot line, pass the data set, pass the variable attribute, whatever you want to pass on X or Y axis, give title, right? Similarly, now we will try to see the proportions of the meals by time. So for this, we are using pie charts. Pie chart tells us proportions over this, right? So see here. So this is the lunch in the data set. 27.9% data is for lunch and 72.1% is for dinner, right? And see here, when we are using pie artist, we can pass name. Name is time. So see, when I'm hovering over the pie, it is telling me the time as lunch, the time as dinner. So this is what this name parameter is doing. Title is there, legend is already there. So most meals are served during dinner time, while lunch time contributes to the smaller proportion. This is the inference as a data scientist we have fetched out of this chart. We can have an area chart also. We can similarly we can have area chart.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I have one question. How we can export these images?
it is from here, sir. See, you will go here and it is downloaded. That's it.
Okay. And only PNG format will be there or other format
Yes.
also?
No, it is as of now this.
Okay.
So this image is there now. You can export it. You can also share it. Yeah, so as we will go ahead, we will create dashboard. For dashboard also you can download and share the link and something like that you can do. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. You can produce it with plotly.js also. I've never done that. Let's see. Okay, we'll have to download something. I'm not doing that. Okay. Okay, area chart I'm not doing. Now we will see how we can customize this. So we created this bar chart. This was very not so appealing. We can always customize charts whichever platform we are using. So in this also, while you will use a particular artist, there itself you can pass a third attribute as color, right? So color is a parameter. You can be specific. If you know the color, the day in my day attribute, there are 4 days: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we can be very specific about Thursday be of this color, Friday be of this color, Saturday be shown as orange, Sunday be shown as salmon color, right? This is how you can customize the colors. You can also customize size of labels and etc. Then I want you to understand that we can always add an annotation to the chart. For that, we use update layout function in Plotly. right? So in this update layout function, you can pass annotation parameter and show arrow parameter. Show arrow parameter will show the arrow towards that particular point, and then you can say arrowhead should be there for 2 pixels. Where do you want to annotate? X-axis will be the value. What will be the value? I mean, you have to put a value of X and Y axis to mention where that annotation should appear on your chart. And what do you want to write about that annotation? Like that. Okay. So, oh, this X-axis and Y-axis, I will show you what is this. So I am showing this graph. Now see here. Thursday was light blue. Thursday is light blue, right? So as per the data dictionary, a color dictionary we have created, now the bars are colored differently, right? Second thing we said, where x-axis is Friday and y is 25, place an annotation special event and show the arrow also. So this is where it is. X-axis is Friday, y is 25, and then it is showing me special event. Now this special event, so arrowhead is 2, ax is 0, ay is minus 40. So it is telling where to place this text, right? So this is how you can annotate a particular point also in your graph. So again, I'm repeating, for update layout function actually is used to update the layout. You can pass legend, you can do a lot of things in update layout itself, right? For more information, we can check, we can always go back to the documentation and see how things can be done. For example, this pie chart. Okay, this scatter chart, maybe not the pie chart. Okay, it has opened the pie chart itself. It is again on tapes data set, and there is, see here, the color sequence is also changed. So color discrete sequence is, we are taking this palette from Plotly's Express itself, right? And we have said it should be red and blue kind of a palette. So you can also change the palette, right? You want a specific function, this we have already done, right? Dark blue, this and that, right? See, then you can update the traces also, where to put the text inside this. That can also be done using update traces. Update layout will help you update the layout of the graph. And this is in Go. See, we are creating it using graphic objects in Go. So usually go.figure element and update layout comes from graphic objects in this Plotly. Okay. All right. This is it. We have done this. Yep, we have done this. So in our previous proportions of meals by time pie chart, we have changed it using a specific color. And we are saying color will be time. Let's see what will happen if we do not use color discrete. See, it has automatically used some palette by default, right? But time is what is being used as the parameter to change the color in that. Okay. There are all different types of charts available in Plotly, not just pie. These are all the basic charts. I will go back and show you from here. So till what time do I have this session? I mean, I want to understand how much time do I have?
All right, so you've got about an hour.
All
An
right,
hour left.
then it is good. Then we can explore more charts in this.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, so we can explore scatter plot. So see, for scatter plot, we just have to call dot scatter and it will show us, data scattered. We'll pick this. So here I already have this. So from Plotly's data folder, we are now fetching iris data. I hope iris data, you know what iris data is. So iris data is basically for dot head. This is what iris data is. It is about a species of a flower. So there are 3 different varieties based upon what is the length and width of the flower's sepal and petal, right? So this is actually a classification based data. So what we will do, we will try to find, okay. We will not use this as of now. So this is data underscore iris. We are simply using a scatter plot. Dot scatter artist is called. Over the data set data df underscore iris. X-axis will be sepal width, y-axis will be sepal length, and then we try to understand whether there is a relation between these two or not. So all the points are scattered over the chart, right? Now we want each point to be colored based upon the species itself, right? Size we are not using again. So here is the species, and I have said there are species of 3 colors, 3 different species. So what has happened? Oh, there was no comma. See, so based upon the 3 species, it has colored the data points, right? Give me a second.
All right.
I'm so sorry, some student came, so sorry. So
Okay,
now
that's fine.
see, yeah, thank you. So what has happened? It has changed the data points color based upon the category which is mentioned in the species. Again, in the species, the category is mentioned as category itself. It is not converted into or encoded. It has automatically understood. It has given one color to each species, right? This is how you can customize it further. And now we are saying the size of each data point. This is what is the beauty of scatter plot. You can always represent 3 parameters, right? As of now, we are representing 4 parameters, but the size of data point will change based upon the value in the palette. Based upon the value of the petal length, right? And then we are saying when we will hover over, include the value of petal width. So in one scatter plot, we will present whole data. See now. Now the color is telling me the category of the flower. This point is telling me, let's suppose this point. This point is telling me that this is the species Virginica. Sepal width is this, sepal length is this, petal length is this, and petal width is this. So the whole data, whole information which was there in the data can be shown with single scatter plot, right? Instead of seeing it like this, we can just have it in the form of a visual. And then we can see that this versicolor and Veronica, these two categories overlap each other when it comes to sepal length and sepal width, right? So there are similar or nearby data points for both the categories. If you will present it differently, I mean, we can have petal length and sepal width differently also, and then that can also happen. So let's change this here and sepal length be the size. See. Now we have a better visualization. Earlier we understood that versicolor and virginica were overlapping, they were near, but when we tried to see the same plot over different x-axis and y-axis, we understood that okay, maybe they are nearby, but there are very less data points which are overlapping. So this is how you can get insight from the data, right? Earlier we thought those are overlapping. Maybe those can be one category of data and this can be another category of data. Now it is more visually informative, right? So this is what we can do for creating various plots. Now, as I've shown you some of the data, dashboards, using these visualizations, then you can create a dashboard. Now in Plotly, creating a dashboard, you can practice many different charts from this particular, I mean, it's library, right? You can go to Plotly, check for the basic charts, check for different. I wanted to go to Plotly. So here. So you can practice all these one by one on different data sets which are available, and then on your own data set also. You can practice this, right? Okay, now we will Plotly is very easy work to create dashboards using Plotly, right? So what is Dash? Dash is a framework. I will open this. See, this is what is Dash is. So you need to import it again. Before that, if it does not, you do not have that, you have to install it also. So usually it comes within, right? So you need to have dashboard, a Dash framework. With Dash framework, let me show you one of the. Okay, we will just create one. So see, this is, so it will create an app. It works on Flask also. So maybe when you will work on Dash, it will throw some errors to you saying that, okay, maybe Jinja is not there or Flask is not there. So you need to import those dependencies accordingly. So pip install Dash will help you install Dash. For my case, it is already there. So I will not yeah, it will tell me, see, so requirement already satisfied. See, it requires Flask, it requires Workising, it requires Plotly, Dash. So Dash has basically two components, HTML component and the Dash core components. We will see what are these components, and using these components, how we can create different application. Jinja is required. So all these things are required. All these are the dependencies for having Dash, right? So first thing first, what we will do, we will import all the required components. So when we, I don't know how to explain this to you. Maybe I will run this first, show you the data, and then I will explain it one by one. Yes, I will open it in So this is one dashboard. What we have done, see, there is a title of the dashboard, and this screen, wait, I will show you one more thing. I want this. Okay, I'm not here. All right, move to day 9. Oh, it has created that. Okay, so let's see this. It usually 255. There is a port number where it shows everything. Let me open that port. Okay. It will be HTTPS here. See. So this is what is one dashboard, but I wanted to show you something else. It is coming up here. So this is one dashboard. We will create this dashboard also. So the dashboard has different components, right? So there can be a title, there can be drop downs where you can pick, you want to give a user some interactive experience so that user can choose what he or she wants to see. And then you can see for example here, we have given a drop down menu so user can pick something and see the results accordingly, right? And if you can see here, this dashboard is divided into some parts. So there is one, this part, the title, then there is one graph here, then second, then there is this drop down, and then third graph, right? So how we create such kind of graphs in dash using in plotly using dash, right? So what we need, there are, as I said, there are two different components in dash. One is dash core components, we call it as DCC, and the HTML component. So the HTML component helps us in laying out our dashboard. What will be placed where, what will be the title, what will be the size of this heading, whether it will be a heading or not, whether the rows the web page will be divided into 2 rows or 2 columns. So HTML component gives us that information. It helps us in creating that particular page for us, and then the core component will help us placing our graphs within those HTML components, right? So there are two different things. And then if we want to input something from the user, for example, here, we want user to give some input like Queens or Staten Island. So based upon that input, how your graph is going to change, right? So there should be some input and output component, right? So this is what we are going to use. So from dash, we have imported dash itself, DCC component, dash core component, HTML component, input and output component. So we have already imported this. Then we definitely need plotly, we already have that. Then first thing first, we will start this application. right? So dash is basically used for building applications. So in this application, we will be creating a dashboard which will be represented as an app, right? So we will say, okay, app is a variable, and we are saying it is using dash, and then you can pass this underscore underscore name underscore underscore, right? So we have started with the app. Then we have to first put the layout of app. So on this app variable, if your variable name is something different, you will use the same variable name here, right? So app dot layout we will update the layout, which will be equal to what? Now this layout is coming from HTML component, so we will use HTML, right? Now from HTML you can use division, you can use headings, and so on, right? So for this particular kind of a graph, we have three things. One, HTML, we have divided this into two divisions, right? So there is a division, and then in that division we have the heading, then we have a graph, then we have some input. Three things are there, right? So let's see the code. So first thing is, in our first division, what we have, so our division is starting from here. Inside this, first thing is html.h4 and what we want as a heading. Done. Then second component in this division is a drop down. See, this is a drop down, right? Now this drop down will come from DCC core component, right? So we will call DCC. From DCC, we will call drop down component. So when we will call this drop down, we will have to pass some of the things. One thing, what will be the ID of this drop down, so that we can use this further in how my drop down will change, and how based upon that drop down's value my output will change, right? So I need to assess this drop down later on. So I have given an ID to this, which is drop down itself, right? Now second thing is, we need to give what will be the options for this drop down, right? So I have given Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We could have given this from the data also, from tips data also, right? We can use that also, right? So maybe Thursday was also there. I am including Thursday also, right? So we have done this. And then what value it should show when our app will start. Okay, so we are saying let it show Sunday. Okay. It is clearable, false, you cannot clear it, right? Once it is done. Then we have done this component, we have included this component in HTML. Now in the layout, we need to put something where we will say our graph will come, right? So again, we will use dcc.graph. Right? So this dcc.graph will understand the next thing will come is a graph, and we are giving it ID as graph. You can give the whole graph itself here, like you can create the graph whole here itself, or you can call it later on also, right? This is the basic layout we have done. And if you can see, we have three things: the heading, the drop down, and the graph, right? If I will do it like this, you will see there are only three components just presented differently here. You have to be very careful about the brackets and all. See, so we are starting with the division. Inside this division, we have a list of components, right? First component is heading, second is drop down, third is graph. All right. This is done. And you have to end it with a comma itself. Okay. Otherwise, it will throw an error. Now, in this dash, because this is interactive, we could have simply done it like this much only, right? We would have passed this figure in this graph itself, and it would be just simple one graph. But we want it to be interactive. We have made it interactive that user can pick something and then the values should change. Right? So for that, we use callback function. right? So this callback will help us to change the values based upon some occurrence of the event at the during the runtime or when the application is there. So we will call this callback on the application. So it is used as a, if you are versed with decorators in Python, it is like a decorator function, right? So decorator functions are called with @, right? So @app, on this app we are using callback. Now this callback, when my graph will change, when there will be some input, the output is to be changed. So two things are important. So in this callback, we will have two things. One, the output. Yeah. Is there any question? Any question? Does not seem so. Okay. So we have one output and input. Now input is coming from this drop down. What was the idea of this drop down? Drop down. So we have used input is coming from drop down, and based upon the value of that input, what will happen? Graph will change. This graph will change, and the graph will change the figure inside it, right? So this is very important, how you connect this back, right? After this, can you do you have a question, or you can mute yourself?
Yes, please mute yourself. Please mute if you're not speaking. Thank you.
So this is what we have just created a function where we are saying input will come from here, and the value of input, the output will change, right? Now we have to place our actual function inside that, how this input and output will change, and what exactly will change, right? So we are saying update bar chart, we are using that as a function, and this bar chart will take a value day, right? It is day, right? We have just used one variable day, right? Now what is my data? Data is coming from tips. You can call this data, you can create this data here itself, right? And then we are saying we have created another variable which is mask, which will be my, because my bar chart has to change based upon this value, right? So I'm saying selected day. Selected day is equal to, from this data, in the go to the column day, wherever the value is equal to this input day. Now this input is coming from this drop down value. Okay. So wherever the value is equal to this, create the bar chart. Now my df will become df on selected day. And then X will be the gender, Y will be the total bill, color be the smoker, and barcode be the group. And then this return, it will return a figure. Now this returning value is going where? It is going here. Okay. So once it is done, if you have some questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, this is what it is. So after we have created all this thing, then we will run our apps server, right? So I will execute it and see. Now I have Thursday also in this. The starting value is Sunday. These were the changes we made here, right? We said value will be Sunday. Options are Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, right? And then the value for that Thursday is here. The bar has changed. I will show you in one. Okay. Now see here. Now okay. The moment user will change the value to Friday, bar is changing. Right? So it is interactive. right? So this is how you can create interactive dashboard. So in this dashboard, we have only one visualization, but we have given user some freedom to use the day, right? And this is what it is. You can mention the color and everything as you go for in the HTML. I think I've done something. Yeah. You can mention the color, the size, font size, same thing, the way you were doing in HTML, same thing you can apply here, right? Okay. This is one type of graph. If you have any questions, you can ask. Else we will start building our next dashboard. Okay, this is this. So usually when you create dashboards, it goes on your local server, local port, right? So for local port for a dash is 8050. So whatever we have changed here, it is being displayed on this local port, right? See? Okay. Again, you can download these as PNG. You can also share it. I don't know where it is going. Okay. So I'm considering there are no questions. So we will move to our next dashboard, right? So this I have to stop with
Okay,
control.
Doc. Hello.
Yeah.
We've actually got a question,
Yeah,
Dr. Bhushan.
question. Yeah, I saw
Did
that.
you see on the-
Mini.
Yes.
Yeah. If we want to show any image as a result, we can do the same code. Any image as the result. Image like you don't want to create a graph, but you want to just use one image. If that is the
Mini?
question.
Okay, Mini, can you please, Mini?
Yeah,
do
she
you-
has written medical
Oh,
image.
medical.
So yes, simple medical image, it is not coming as a graph. I think you will be able to use HTML component. We'll have to see in Dash. Dash is more like creating a dashboard with interactive thing, but yes, you can. It is based upon HTML. I think you will be able to upload any image into that also. Let's find out. Image using HTML component. I've not done that earlier. Oops. It's going very slow. Why the histogram is separate?
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Ma'am, like I want to ask, like, what was the code that you used to create a dashboard, like linking your Python code to the dashboard? Just I wanted to see that line.
This is the code.
Okay, yeah.
Rajikuma, I think it's Rajikuma's phone.
Yeah.
Rajikuma, can you please mute? I'm not too certain, but there's a terrible noise coming from your background. Can you please mute yourself? Unless if you've got a question. Thanks. Thank you.
If you want to
All
create
right,
GUI
that's okay.
for this using CNN, can you share the code? It will be a lot of work, but yes, we can create that. But I cannot share that code right now, but we can do something. Okay?
Ma'am,
Yeah,
I have another,
Ashish.
yes, I have another questions. Like you are running this dashboard on a local server. So if I want to run it on like not on the local server, on some other, I want to create a URL for it. So how to do that?
I think you will have to do something in here.
Okay.
Yep. So you can refer to Plotly dash app core component. Oh, there are a lot of things, radio buttons and all. I have not touched that. Okay, you can do that, right? But you'll have to explore. Okay.
Okay.
What else?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Just I have one more query that if we want to show any image with the help of Dash, we can do that.
So you have to pass that image somewhere like this. So you don't want to create a code, right? But you just want to pass an image on the board.
I mean that if I have created a code and I want to at the back end, I just want to show that code in the form of a you can say image. What is the blurring image is there, denoised image is there. Only I want to make it graphical user interface should be attached with that code. So that is possible with the help of Dash.
That is possible with. See, it is, yes, it is. I think it is possible. I have not tried that, but see, we are just passing some figure, right? This figure can be something else, HTML based something else. I have not done that, but I have not done that. Can an image be passed to Dash in Plotly? Oh, yes, see, we can get image. There it is possible. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So this will be of help to you because the basic fundamental is this, that we are creating some layout and then we are passing the things. So if we have created some layout, it won't be, I don't think it would be a graph thing, but yes, you instead of doing all this, you can simply pass an image. See here. So app layout, image, HTML.image, and then you can simply pass it, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Any other thing? Yes, though. Okay, there is another thing. Because a histogram, it's the only statistical tool that plot. I did not get this. So question was, why is a histogram different? I did not get this question itself. Why the histogram are separate? Ibrahim. So I think you want to say why bar chart is different from histogram? Yes. Histogram is a different calculation. Histogram is not bar. So histogram tells you how many instances of a particular data point are there in the whole data. It shows you the frequency of a data point basically. Right? Okay, so now we'll move to our another dashboard wherein we will create, I have picked this Airbnb dataset. It is picked from this. Here, Kaggle, it is freely available. You can use it. So you can download it from here, CSV file. Okay. I have already downloaded it. So this is what we were talking about, right? So this Airbnb's data is for the year 2019 for all the hostings, for all the host IDs and the property listings for New York City. Okay. And it is a very good data set for understanding dashboards. A lot of people have done some work on this. See, somebody has explored data using this, using simple NumPy and Matplotlib, right? So you can do it in Matplotlib also, but we will do it in Plotly, right? So how many host IDs have how many listings? So things like this. What is the price, neighborhood based, and all that. In Tableau also you will find a lot of references for Airbnb. So we'll do this again, same thing. So first thing first, we will import everything, right? From one line only we will import. Okay, yeah. I have imported. I already have Plotly, but I'll keep it as it is. We need pandas because we will be fetching our data from CSV file, right? I have to close this. Control C to stop it actually. Okay. So we are loading the data using pandas. Okay. We will initialize our app, then we'll come to the layout. Now in this layout, we want to plot many things. There is no callback as of now. We are plotting directly. See, dcc.graph, and it is a scatter plot. We are calling px.scatterplot on our Airbnb data. Number of reviews, what is the price, color be the distinguishing way based upon neighborhood groups. Let me show you the data first so that we know what exactly it looks like. Okay. I will keep this. Okay, this is not code. And now I can fetch the columns, or we can have the description of the data. Info. This is what the data set is. It has name, host ID, host name, longitude, latitude, where exactly on a map it is. We can have map also generated here. Room type, what is the price, what are the number of reviews, what was the last review, total hosting host listing counts, and so on, right? This is what we have. Now we will plot few things. One, we'll plot price versus number of reviews using a scatter plot. We will have a bar chart for room type distribution. Then we will give a drop down to the neighborhood. On neighborhood, I mean neighborhood are the locations actually, right? In New York, in which all there are, I think 5 locations like Queens and this and that. And then we will create a pie chart for representing the price distribution in a particularly selected neighborhood, right? So because these are static charts, these will not change. We will simply call them here, right? And graph chart is there. And for this, we are calling a callback on pie chart. See the input, the output will go to pie chart here. Where is the pie chart? Here, the pie chart. And input will be from this drop down. Okay. Now see how we have the division here. So we have started with the division. We have heading, and then we have another component graph. We have another component graph. We can have. I'll show you how these graphs can be placed in a in one row also. As of now, these are in horizontally one after another, right? So this is what it is. So for updating pie chart, we have update pie chart, and based upon the selected group, we are filtering the data, and then on that filtered data, we are creating the pie. Okay, let's run this, and here also we will have it. Let it get opened. Yep. So it will take time. All right, it is not so good. Number of reviews and price. We cannot pick it. Okay. Maybe we can have a drop down for this also, so that we can have one particular thing, right? Or yeah, we can do that also. But we'll do that later on. And then see, we have room type distribution. It is not coming as it should come. It should be three colors. I am not able to see the colors. Maybe here we are able to see. Yeah, here we have. No, I think it will take time. Yeah. Okay, and then we have this drop down for Manhattan. What is the total distribution of entire apartment, private room, and shared room, and so on. Okay, will you try doing something? No? Yes? Okay, let's see how we can change the layout. Instead of drop down, you can have a radio button also. You can have check buttons also. Let me show you that. So there are various core components available. For example, you can have dcc.radio items for all the values. We can do these changes in our app also here. So instead of this as a drop down, we will say we are using dcc.radio items, and the values are coming from, the value is unique 0 options. Okay, so okay, how was, I think we can put this as, we'll have to use this above this. So we are saying options will be this. So this option is nothing but we are trying to using list comprehension. We are creating a list, right? So this list is creating using Airbnb's data on the column neighborhood group dot unique values, right? So for every unique value, we are saying label is equal to group, value is the group, right? So we are adding label and group exact. So here, instead of this, we will use options from the above, and I think it should work. Options meant to be this is instead of this. Where? This option will go above here, outside. Let's see. Radio button error option is not working. Rest of the things are there. We'll see. ID not found in layout. Oh, ID for that option for neighborhood. Okay, we have removed the ID also. We'll include ID. Where are you? Radio button here. Okay, we'll pick things from here. Inline true. Okay, options are going like this here itself. Value is this. Options is equal to neighborhood. What has happened? Let's see. Our radio button is giving error. Okay. Pie chart. This is missing the ID. Okay, we'll put ID like ID for neighborhood. So we will have neighborhood group as ID is equal to neighborhood. It is taking time, but this is how you can convert it into radio items as well as in check items also. Let it get. Option passed into this. One of the type. But these were supposed to be passed, right? List is being passed, that is why. So NH will not help us. Dict type this. So we can have options there itself as these, right? We have let me pass the options here. So in this data, we have Queens, we have Let me check. Unique. Unique is not callable. All these. And let the default value be this. Position. Okay. Value. I'm not giving any value. Go. Add. All right, we have graphs, but it is just showing this now. It will come. See? So now we will have radios buttons, and based upon the radio button, you can have the chart. All right. So you can have these radio buttons in one line also. You just have to say inline is equal to true. Yep. So it will change our view. I think this was fine. Anything? Any questions? So this is our dashboard for Airbnb New York. It is coming. Wait, right? So as of now, we have just updated. Why pi is not coming? Because we have not used any value it should start with. So the moment we'll select a value, it will show us the pi. Right? So if you have any questions, okay. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, that is all from my side. Regarding storytelling, storytelling is more about, not just about this dashboard or data. You should have good narrative also while preparing your story. So storytelling in data science is more like what information, what important information only you want to tell to your stakeholders based upon who all are the stakeholders, based upon what is your domain, what is the data, which domain data belongs to. Like I said, HR analytics will be different, marketing analytics will be different. So all that depends upon those things. So there are three things which are important in any story. So story is dependent upon data, the insights, and the narrative. Narrative is very important in that.
All right.
All right, that is all from my side. If you have any questions, you can tell me. There are a lot of things to explore in this. Again, I would request you to keep working on this Plotly. There is a lot of help available on Plotly's website, like radio buttons. You can have check buttons. You can have a lot of things, not just one graph changing interactively. You can have options for different graphs also. Like with one option, all graphs can change. So you will just change the callback, right? So this callback will change only.
Great.
So instead of one output here, instead of one output, let's suppose you are changing 4 outputs, there will be 4 output parameters, and then for each parameter you will put the graph. So it will work like that. That is all from my side. Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Pooja, thank you so much. This was, one of those sessions where we learned quite a lot. Very informative. And I'm sure all the participants, they understood exactly what you were. Yes. Thank you so much for that. Any questions before we actually provide on the appreciation certificate. Any questions? Is everyone clear? Does everyone understand? Okay, we do understand the information was okay. So the session was informative,
Yeah,
you know,
thank
and
you.
very useful. I
Thank you.
guess. Okay, no, ma'am. All right. So we good. We good. I think everyone
We good
actually
enough.
understands, and everyone is happy. Thank you so much. All right.
All
We
right.
really appreciate you coming
Oh my
through.
God, this is good. Thank you.
Yes, and a quick one before you leave. You know, we don't want
Yeah.
you to leave empty-handed. You know, we
Yeah.
appreciate your efforts very much. All right, a quick one. So this certification is acknowledged and honored for exemplary contribution as the keynote speaker on data visualization and storytelling, advanced data, visualization with libraries like Plotty, creating creative visualization, communicating results effectively at the 2-week faculty development program on data science and science computing. All right. This program is jointly organized by the Central University of Punjab, Patinda, which is in India, Purmina University, Jaipur, which is also in India, and then also ourselves, you know, the Nexus University in South Africa, as well as Baba Farid College, Patinda in India, and, you know, not forgetting Math Tech Thinking Foundation, Fazika, Punjab in India. This is from us, from all the partners to
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate your efforts. And this is the beginning, you know, we're still going to see more of you, Dr. Pooja.
Sure. Anytime.
Thank you so much for that. A great day to you and all the best for 2024. On
Yeah,
behalf of us
thank
and
you.
everyone else, we wish you
So
all the best.
thank you. If you, with your all due permission, can I share my course on Coursera, which is on data
Yes,
visualization
ma'am. Yes,
only
yes, you
using
can. You
Python?
can. Dear President, one thing missing while introducing Dr. Pooja. She has created 3 certificate courses on Coursera,
Yeah, thank
and
you.
recently she published latest certificate course, which is available on Coursera. And anyone who is willing, ma'am, please you can elaborate more.
So on Coursera, I am working as an IBM instructor. You will find 2, 3 courses there. One is on data visualization with Python itself, where we have explored a lot of libraries of modules from Python, and Plotly is also a part of that. Then we have one course on dashboarding with Excel, Cognos, and Looker, which is an optional, but it is there. Looker is very good platform for creating dashboards, right? And it is free of cost available. My upcoming course on that will be getting started with Tableau on 29th January. That will be up. And recently, there is a specialization which was opened, that is on generative AI for data science. So please make use of those courses. I mean, IBM is really good in creating such courses. All right.
Ma'am, also
I,
please share the link for the courses which are available
I
for.
have shared one a link for the course. It is on data visualization with Python. Once you will be there, you can find other courses also from there. If you want
Great.
me to, I can share other links. I will have to find.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, dear participant, to join this session. And tomorrow we will join at the same time. Thank you.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time.
Thank you.